Xin chào Việt Nam.
Hello everyone. This is Iris. And right now we are at Asus first ever exclusive store in Hanoi. And let's ask Iris to give us a tour and see what is special.
Welcome to the first Asus exclusive store in Hanoi. So this is the ground floor, and in this ground floor we offer all the consumer solutions, including for the office workers, students, and also gamers. So this area we put our Zen series, and for more office workers, and also this area we have our Book for students and mainstream users. And from this angle, here is our flagship models, including this Book Duo. So you can see, so we have a dual screen. So when you are traveling around in the hotel, you can just easily to work with the dual screen. You don't have to carry your monitors around when traveling. And also here are our flagship Book S series. So like this one is our classic Book S14. And we also have a Book S16. It's a 16-inch large screen, but also still very thin and light. And both of them are made with our ceramic technology. And please come here. So this table, we put all the latest CPUs here, including these two are the just a newly launched Intel Core Ultra 2 series Arrow Lake CPU. And also we have here is AMD also just launched in February. And this AI Kraken CPU, both are Copilot Plus PC. Okay, and for this special one, this is a very special product. This is the lightest 14-inch Copilot Plus PC from Qualcomm. So this one is only 1 kilo around, and it's super long battery life for 32 hours. Yeah. And this is also made by the Asus special ceramic technology. So it's a 30%, it's a combined from ceramic and aluminum. So it's a 30% lighter, but 3 times durable than aluminum.
I love it.
Yeah, you can have it.
It's good.
We have very good promotion right now.
Oh,
yeah. Super light.
I love design.
Actually, you can hold with 1 finger, but you need a 3-point to staple it.
I will try.
Yeah, try.
Three or 3 fingers.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
But be careful your nail.
Wow, this is right, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it.
Great. Now follow me to upstairs. Please welcome.
Okay. I'm so excited to see the news area. And this space of what is special in this area?
Thank you for the question. It's this floor, first floor, is our area for commercial users. So it's all our Asus Expert series demonstration here. So from the daily work notebook to the very thin and light for the C-levels notebook. And also we have desktop solutions and also all-in-one PC all around here. Okay, and now I'm going to introduce a secret partition in this exclusive store.
Excited.
You see, it's a very big empty space, right? This is our hidden partition for hosting the seminar. So different from the normal retailer, we keep a very big empty space here. So in the future, we are hosting many new technology introductions for users to come here, hands on the real products, and maybe can introduce some trainer to introduce you how to use the latest things. And also maybe sometimes we can hosting some gaming tournaments to try the latest performance gaming laptops.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is the first time we go to the store and see casual atmosphere. I think that's good to introduce new products. Oh my gosh, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi everyone, this area has many people in here. I think that's so impressive error. Okay, high errors.
Yes.
So what is the error?
This is the very exciting places. It's our gaming area. As you can see, it's a republic of gamers.
Games.
Gaming zone is always the most crowded place in every store. Especially here, we display almost whole series. From the you can see this side is our performance scar and streak series, which we trying to drive the most performance of the products. And also over there, sorry, it's too crowded. So over there, we put also our top series. So for more mainstream gamers. And in this area, we also display the latest launching, the Flow series. The latest Flow series, which is the strongest gaming tablet in the world, which we use in the AMD new solution with a shared memory. So especially can be very useful for like AI programmers.
Wow, that's good. So. Right now, we start a deep talk with Asus, and in the tech industry, the name Eric Lee is well known, and you have been with Asus in Vietnam for a decade. So, throughout this journey, what are the most proud of?
I'm very proud of that I have a chance to bring a lot of the latest technology to Vietnam market. You know, it's before I joined the Vietnam market, I was working as an engineering PM in Asus headquarters and design the products. And all the times we have us thinking about how to embed it, this new tech or that new tech into the products and to helping the people. When I have the chance to rotate to the last mile in Vietnam, then I started to have a chance to really use the process to introduce the latest technology to the market, and it was quite success. So in the last almost really a decade already, we have successfully make the SSD from the very premium, just like a luxury toy, become the mainstream of the market. We have introduced a OLED panel. Before also it's only in the most flagship model, but along the time now, roughly 30% above of the Asus product are with OLED panels. And also we facing the 100% authentic windows. We also introduce like a slim bezel, make the notebook right now is a much smaller and lighter. So I'm very proud of can join the journey and also participate in the expansion of the latest technologies.
What makes you decide to stay committed to the Vietnam market for so long? Would you consider Vietnam your second home?
Actually, it's not just consider. Vietnam is actually my second home. Maybe not everyone know, but I do holding the temporary residence card by marriage. So I'm 50% Vietnamese. Yeah, so I think there are a lot of similarities in between Vietnam and Taiwan. I feel it's Vietnamese people are also very kind and nice. And we're sharing the same culture we care about the education for kids. And people are really hardworking and persuasion for progress in their professional careers. Everyone wants to achieve something. Yeah, so yeah, of course, Vietnam is my second home, but actually it's maybe you can say the first home because right now I already spent a quarter of my life in Vietnam, and most of the time I'm living in Vietnam.
And right now we are back to business. We also know COVID-19 significantly pushed the laptop market due to the rise of remote work. So could you share some days on Asus growth during that period?
I see. I remember COVID-19 period of time is the market was really have very strong demand for laptop devices because I think it's a work from home and study from home trend. So I remember last year's total market laptop demand, not just Asus, the total market in Vietnam grows around 140% comparing to 2020, and that is because of the global supply shortage. So otherwise, I think the number maybe even goes to double. And along the time, there are several significant trend difference. Vietnam market normally people prefer 14, 15 inches standard size, but that time Even we have a model, it's an 11-inch with a very entry CPU. It can sell roughly 1,000 a month. I think it's a lot of the kids, they starting to use online education program somehow, so starting from home, so 11-inch is very suitable for kids. Laptops gaming ratio also have very significant increase. Before the COVID time, the among the whole laptop, 1 year is roughly 700K, is 700,000 pieces is a notebook market. And among that is around 10% is for with a discrete graphics card is for gaming purpose. But during the COVID time, it's raising up to 25%, which is very similar to the global average number. So I think that a lot of people starting to maybe they changing the behavior from playing outside in the iCafe somehow, become playing the game at home, or maybe more people do the content creating, so also demanding for a stronger graphic card. So the graphic card ratio goes to 25%. And another important trend is we see Asus also in that year, we're starting to introduce the OLED panel in the mass market. So and the price actually is of course slightly higher than the standard panel, but the demand was quite strong. It's once we launch, it goes to 30-something% directly, and it doesn't go down. I think it's because when during the COVID times, people really have a much deeper involvement and using a laptop as your daily. It's maybe using more than a smartphone because you just stay here, right? So just use notebook instead of keep checking the phone. So and when you're in a longer time using, you'll find out the OLED panel brings the very vivid visual, and also it's really very much eye protection. So that is also a very tremendous trend. And after the COVID, the small screen size for the kiddo is already dropping down. There's now no that much 11-inch demand, but OLED panel become a sustainable trend. I think everyone already find out the value of the OLED panel, and they didn't change back. Yeah.
And so, how is the current laptop market in Vietnam performing?
Okay, I think talking about now is around from 2024 until nowadays. I think the market is back to much more healthier. After the COVID time, actually the global many industry facing the oversupply issue, because during the COVID times, everyone just have a so strong shortage and strong demand. We have a lot of double booking orders. So 2022 and 23 actually hold a market full of the older generation, not the old product, but the older generation of products full of the market. So it is relatively difficult to promote or pushing the newer technology to the market. However, it's 2024, we see the overall inventory is much more healthier and lower down, and people starting to show the intention to buy the newer, better solutions. And that's the first trend, a much healthier inventory. And the second important thing I think everyone knows is about AI. So it's from middle of 2024, is Microsoft, they starting driving the Copilot PC, this trend. And we do see that people starting to see the significant difference between the newer AI-ready CPU and the traditional generation CPUs. And right now it's still an initial period of time, but we see the market show much more intention and interesting to understand the new product. And Asus, we are very proud. We are the first one to launching, no matter it's a Qualcomm platform, Intel or AMD platforms, Copilot Plus PC solution. And we now is a leading 76% of market share in Vietnam market. Yeah. So another trend I think is because one is of course during the COVID times, people more getting used to working professionally aligned with their notebook. So and also is a Vietnam market is a fast growing. Is every year is a 6-7% of a GDP growth rate. So there are more and more professional workers, and they starting to have a more diversified of different devices. So some of the products, some of the innovation before maybe it's relatively just like innovation, but now it's become the stable selling. So for example, we have a very famous notebook. It's a dual screen, ZenBook Dual. So it's a two full-size 14-inch screen So before the COVID time, this kind of innovation, normally people will think about it's just something very nice and fancy toys. But after COVID time, with a long using, people used to have a double screen, traveling everywhere. You need to work at hotel somehow. You need a two screen, and this device become the standard devices. And also the longer battery life or the many different purpose of the devices now also become the important trend. So I think that is some of the status quo of the market right now.
And what does Asus currently stand in Vietnam laptop market?
In average, Asus we have around 27% of total market share in the Windows PC in 2024. Stable number one for almost a decade. And however, actually, it's Asus we have very wide product range. So from the everyday computing to the more professional, advanced, or the professional gamers. So the general speaking is the middle high-end segment, Asus has relatively better performance. So for example, like the recent Copilot Plus PC segment, Asus occupy around 76 something % market share. And among all our total non-gaming notebook shipment, Giám segment is occupy roughly 8 to 10%. So the more middle high-end segment, Asus have a better performance. So I think that is because of Asus we are very involving in the research, R&D. So we're always trying to bring the better technology to the market. So for the market, it's the more advanced users. Advanced doesn't mean you are power users. You play hardcore gaming, but it's just about you have a longer time using the computer. Then you will find out those detailed in terms of design is very useful for you. So, however, I was observing there's some trend in the market. Is I find out even as a brief question sharing about the market right now, the overall inventory is relatively healthier. So people more intentionally to adapt to the newer technology solutions. However, is we see still we call it the engine, which is the latest CPU platform. In old times, people always trying to facing the new CPU platform because hey, we are spending quite a lot of budget to buy a computer to using for averages 3 to 5 years or above. So you want something you can durable using longer. But nowadays, because the market has been a little bit confusing by last 2-3 years total inventory in the market. So end users starting to maybe not always choosing a latest generation CPU. So as I remember the 2024 average number, the latest CPU among the market is in Vietnam market only occupy 3%, only 3% of the market. But before people always want to buy the newer one. But I feel for me it's a bit confusing because for users, CPU is actually one of the most important component inside a laptop because it's a core, it's like engine for the car. So but the cost of the CPU occupy the whole laptop is roughly just 20 to 30%. And the newer and older generation CPU, the cost gap is maybe also only 10 to 20%, or depends on the level. So the cost for you buy a newer generation CPU notebook compared to the older one, the total cost is pretty small. But if you buy a newer generation, actually you can support you to working longer. So especially right now, there's a lot of this AI ready or older one. So AI ready is right now we still see not yet so tremendous difference, but it's suppose it can support you for a much longer time in the future. So I think that is a status that Asus we're trying very hard to we have to sharing the information to the market that those are the really something very important and nice technologies, and we also hope that more and more users can aware that and choosing something is better for them and can using longer. Yeah.
And right now, which Asus laptop model is the best selling? If possible, please share some favorites.
Okay, sure. Actually, Asus we provide a very wide range products for different purposes using. So I will not just say single model for best selling, But I can share some trends. For example, like we occupy very big market share in the gaming segment. So in the old times, in gaming segment, the top series is the best selling. So it takes above 80% of our total gaming sell out. But recently we find and there's an important new trend is nowadays they are, because I think it's because also the gaming share grows from the 10% to 25% of the total market. So there are more and more diversified user in the gaming segment. So there's a new trend is there are a lot of low profile gamers. So they may be our content creators, or they simply need a better graphic card power, but they don't need a very fancy or very powerful gaming outlook. So we have a new series is Asus Gaming, which is a K series. This model is right now is plays a more and more important in-house share, roughly maybe close to the 30% above of our total gaming. So this is a new low-profile gaming trend. And the other part is about like Book is another very important segment for Asus. It occupies around 8 to 10% of our total sell out. So in the old times that in Vietnam market, we have only one Book Classic, which is occupies almost 100% of the whole Book segment. But nowadays I feel maybe there are more professional users, so they need a multiple different purpose. So in this segment, we also starting to have a many diversified demand. So like Book Duo is before it's just more like innovation model, but right now it's become a sustaining model. Every week you have a stable demand. So I think more and more business person, they travel a lot, they find out it's very useful. And we have another new trend is like Qualcomm's super long battery models also have a stable demand. So that's another important trend I observe. And of course, for the most of the mainstream segment is still occupy the majority of the demand. More than 50% of total demand were from the mainstream. However, in mainstream, most of the time people will consider is maybe price oriented, so normally the cheapest has the best volume. But inside Asus, we find a very interesting thing is even in the mainstream segment, OLED model platform still occupies a much bigger, not much bigger, but it's a pretty big portion. So OLED still occupies roughly, I think maybe 20-something% above in the old entry segment, because even it's a more price-oriented consideration, but panel is still something very important for using in longer time. So many people still prefer to choose a better panel solution in this segment. Yeah.
In your opinions, what are three key factors that influence customers to buy a new laptop?
Thank you for your question. I think it's for most of the end users, the three most important factors to choose a laptop are price, of course, and budget. And the second will be performance, because laptop normally we buy for productivity. So whether the performance matching your working demand or entertainment demand is very, very important. And the third one is, I think, of course, quality, because people buy a laptop will using 3 to 5 years, some even to 7 years. You have older kids, and you may, when the kids grow up, you may pass to the second kids, and older kids will buy a new one. So quality is very important. However, I think these three factors are helping the end user to narrow down the scope of the product you're choosing. But laptop, I would say, is a very personal product, even more personal than smartphone, because nowadays the smartphone is relatively more unified into fewer design. But laptop is for productivity, and many different people have a different purpose, so they have a different design. So for example, like if you have long working hours, like me, you have to look at the screen for more than 10 hours a day, OLED panel will become very, very important things besides those three important factors. And somehow if you travel a lot and go out whole days, you don't have the charger all the time, long battery life will be something very important, and light is very important. So besides those three factors, I think there will be a lot of different things that you should try it hands-on, study further. So that is actually why we want to build up this kind of Asus ecosystem store. We believe that every single laptop, you better have a chance to hands-on to try it. Think about you are going to use it for another 3 to 5 years. Is that something matching you? So yeah, I think that's something further beside those three fundamental questions, and welcome here to experience it.
And the next question, what sets Asus products apart from the competitor in the market?
Thank you. I think every company have the way they doing business and standing. So nowadays, most of the brand in the laptop market are very long. So we respect all the solution providers. But I think some different position of Asus with others is we really very focused on design thinking. So design thinking means we are pushing ourselves to have a deeper understanding about end user scenario. End users' behavior using laptop is also keep changing, and we also have more and more technology in the world, so can embed it and equip user to have a better solutions. So design thinking is deeply in Asus mind. Is we always trying to understanding deeper for how user using it, and we are looking for all the solutions, try to advance our product time by time. So that's a fundamental difference, and somehow it's the composition of the organization also different. So inside Asus, we have 30% of employee are R&D people. So we are a little bit like a geek mindset. It's inside Asus headquarters is beside the fancy lobby. Upstairs looks all like a really like a lab. It's because I also worked there before. So you can smell many PCB board smell something. It's usually like a lab because we are still very geek inside and we are always testing new things. So that is something different from how we do the things. And one more thing is that this Asus we not just want to do the very fancy, innovative, high-end product for get some award in big tech show like CES. We really try to broaden the better solutions to wider solution, to wider platform choices. So you can see a lot of very nice things that Asus will always be the pioneer, try to waterfall to wider price band products, so more users can really enjoy the improvement of the technology world. Yeah.
Asus is one of the some laptop brand to launch exclusive store for users. So could you share the reasoning behind this, and is a part of a new strategy for Asus?
Thank you for the question. But I would like to say the correction a bit is we are not one of, we are the only one open the exclusive store in Vietnam. Yeah. So yes, it is of course our long-term strategy, but the strategy is not about the retailer. It's about Asus' long-term strategy is always will try to embed more innovation to the product, just as we shared. And we believe that to introduce the better product, it's not just about we make it. We should also bring it to the market and have a right way to deliver and also let user to experience it. So in the past few years, we actually cooperate with many of our retailer partners. So you go to many of the, we almost cooperate with all the partners who selling the laptop in Vietnam market. And you can go to many stores, you will see that Asus, we have a live demo units. So we want to let people to hands-on to try. And in some bigger store, we have the whole table of the product, so user can see many different choices. Yeah. And from last year, because AI become an important trend, so we also cooperate with several big partners like Theo, Cell Phone S, Phong Phú, FPT Retail, or Hanoi Computer. We work with them to build up the AI innovation hub inside the stores. So we have professional consultant. Even we set up some software in the laptop to let user to try. So the Asus exclusive store is a more advanced way. So we have tried this business model in several countries already. Even like in Indonesia, we have around 70 something. Thailand, we have 6 exclusive store, but this year it's going to double. And we are trying to in Vietnam because we find out this is a very, very, very good way for end user to have really the chance to experience the product. So like in this store, we display all our middle high-end product segments. We also have a professional consultant here to answer all your questions. And beside that, we also have a seminar spaces. So later we'll introduce you to have a different kind of tech agendas to let user have a more chance to understand new technologies. So this will be one of the policy to one of the new way we are going to introduce the product to let user to hands-on experience it. And we also have Intel's Lunar Lake Copilot Plus PC rating, and also the AMD Strix Point and the Kraken Copilot Plus PC rating. So hardware, we provide total solution. The second part is beside the very fancy demonstration that you can see all in the like Microsoft or many demo videos, like you can just text in some wording and generate a very fancy graphic, or the AI can do the lifetime translation for like I'm talking English, but maybe it can lifetime translation. No, sorry, English to English. So it's if I speak Chinese, the lifetime translation to English. But there are also a lot of things that maybe people didn't mention a lot, but it's very it's actually very important to enhance our productivity life. So for example, like nowadays with the AI noise cancellation, so it can improve a lot of on the video calls quality. And also we can provide the laptop with even up to 32 hours. It's also because AI can help in the battery control. So those are many fields that we are adapting AI to the newer products.
So people believe that the laptop market is reaching the saturation point, similar to smartphone market. So what is your perspective on this?
Understand. I would say it's true, but also maybe not true. So nowadays, every year, the total market in Vietnam laptop demand is around the 700K for consumer, another 200,000-300,000 for commercial market. So total around 1 million pieces. And we see the devices normal user will first-hand computer you may use 3 to 5 years, and they are still a very big second-hand market. So roughly in the market, the total laptop running maybe around 5 to 7 million pieces. So comparing to a total 100 million population and the age of people like students or the professional workers, the market is relatively mature. So we also see that the total quantity in terms of the demand, yearly quantity, almost no much change for last 10 years. However, I would say it will change in a different way. So for example, like 10 years ago when we started to sell the computer, when I started to sell computer here, the demand is relatively more entry, it's more like a core i3 or more entry solution. But nowadays, people have a more and more advanced and professional demand. So there is still the transition. And also, of course, the very important difference happened is last year, the AI things. So AI nowadays, people not yet see the significant difference, but I see the market is adapting to this new trend and finding the importance. So I think in very short future, we will see a very big turning point. It's maybe just like when the market changing from feature phone to smartphone. So there will be one point that people will comparing, okay, I need to have an AI ready, AI laptop instead of traditional laptop, and that will be another booming timing. Yeah.
And now, could you share the exciting plans that Asus have for in Vietnam in 2025?
Thank you. Of course, every year we'll bring some important, interesting new products to the market. So we like this year we already have Qualcomm and Intel AMD's AI platforms. But furthermore, is what we are trying to do in Vietnam in 25 is we are going to build a more retail experience, more exciting retail experience for end users to let them have an easier way to hands on the new products. So like this Asus store is one of the sample, and we are also looking for another location in Ho Chi Minh to expansion this kind of experiencing area. And also we were looking for the opportunity to work with our other retailer partners to improving the hands-on experience in more stores.
You live in Vietnam maybe a long time, nearly 10 years, okay. Yeah. And what is your favorite places to visit and Vietnam food to like?
10 years is really long. But I personally, because I'm a surfer, so I really I really like to stay in the beach side. So I like to go Fuguo, Danan, and Halong Bay is really beautiful places. So I like the waters. Yeah, but yeah, most of the time I stay in the office in Ho Chi Minh cities. Yeah. Talk about food is I think yeah we are in Hanoi, right? So just make me remember is I really like food is called chaga
Yeah,
laban,
chaga,
right?
chaga
Oh, I
laban.
really love it. It's a lot of very nice veggie and the shrimp sauce. Many foreigners maybe not really very used to it, but oh, it's so yummy. Yeah, maybe we should go have lunch later.
So, what's your assessment about creativity and capabilities of the young Vietnam talents working?
Yeah, your question makes me remember I already been here 10 years and you are talking about young Vietnamese, so you're not talking about me anymore. So I think along the 10 years I've serving, I find there's a lot of progress in terms of language and nowadays really we interview a lot of young people, young talents. Their English so smooth. It's quite surprising me along the time. And also, I find that the young talents they are also they more know what they want. So when they choose their profession, they also more commitment, and they don't afraid to fighting or discussion their opinions about work. I think it's a very good progress in the market.
You said about the young talents, and they always know they are. And I have a question. Could you say something about the environment in Asus and how to get a job at Asus?
Asus environment is I think we really encourage for people's growth.
Yeah.
So like in terms of recruiting, also mention about the recruiting policy. We like to hire the young talents instead of a very senior professional. So because we believe that a lot of young talent, if you have a very strong growing mindset, then you join us, we will give you a very, to be honest, a very high pressure environment, but we can make you progress from the fresh talent to a senior profession in the market in maybe 3 years to 5 years maximum. So we very open-minded for young talent, but we want the people with a very strong growth mindset and very care about and commit to your career performance.
Okay. I'm so very thank you for you today to share something
very
about
much.
the Asus, and I hope everyone could and the Vietnam customer to visit Asus exclusive store. Yeah, thank you.
Please do welcome.